All right, good morning, folks. How y'all doing? It is what is it today? Wednesday? It's Thursday. Jeez, I lost because of Monday travel. I lost today. It feels like Wednesday to me. Thursday. Welcome in. It is House Edge Live. John from Casino Gaming Central here, working on our series this week on money management, and we're going to go into the pressure cooker today and I'm going to roll some stuff out. We'll just talk through it as I roll it. That's going to be kind of the idea. So, all right, let's hit it. Number one of all things, remember this. I say this every day. I'm like a broken record, aren't I? Like the worst kind of broken record. Where is our thing? Hello. There we go. Why do we do the shows? Why do I care about money management so much? Because I care about money management more than probably every other topic that I do, right? And I think there are others out there, I know Ken's in the audience today, who would agree with me on this, right? Of all the things in gambling, strategy, dice control, card counting, you name it, the number one thing to me is money management. The number one thing. It's, to me, the difference maker of everything. Now, of course, it takes discipline to pull it off. It takes other skills to pull off good money management, but without it, you are going to succumb to what we see here. The casinos will bankrupt your ass. They will, without impunity, they will take all of your money because they have solid money management. What they do, by the way, they're playing a ladder. Effectively, the casino is playing a ladder all day long. They just have money to outlast the variance. You probably don't. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But that's their game, right? Our game is trying to survive some of that, right? Our game is playing a little bit. This thing is not really working very well. So hold on a second here. I've got my, I upgraded my spreadsheet, my Keynote software for the presentation. It doesn't follow the buttons. Anyway, we've got this tool. We've got the bridge. We've got our brains. We have our emotions, our knowledge, our relationship with our own risk. We have all these things that we can use as tools, right? The one thing you can't use is math against them. There's no math that beats them. There's no strategy that beats them. Matter of fact, nothing you can do really beats them. What you can do, though, is hope to survive long enough to get a good variant and maybe have more variants, more good sessions than bad, a little bit of luck. You can use money management to pull out more often than you don't. That's the whole thing. It's just that simple. And I want you, when I give these slides every day, these first two kind of reminders every day, just remember that. Remember that you have the keys to the car. You can walk away when you're up, and you can control how much you fall down. All right, next up then for us is going to be this. Come on, man, what is going on here with this damn thing? Move to the next slide. It won't go. Unbelievable. Okay, I have to do it by hand, I guess, right? What a pain in the ass. It's this thing here. This thing here, you can see the buttons don't work. The buttons stopped working. I can't go to the next screen. All right, we'll be a little choppy today. It's okay. We've gone through money management, and I've done 2 days of it. We talked a little bit about, in the ABCs of gambling, we did a little bit about what is it, what is discipline, where do you put your money, how do you separate things out. Yesterday, I gave you, I think, the case for money management. We did a little fact or fiction. Most people will probably agree. Some people don't. I mean, some people think I'm full of shit and that it's a waste of time. Some people think it's a waste of time to try money management. You just put your money out there and hope for the best, right? There are people out there who believe that the math is so strong, nothing you can do matters. Just bet your 110 inside every single time and wait it out. And if it's your day, it's your day. If it's not, you're not. There are people who have, and I've said this before, right? To the math guys, right? When I say you've given up, that's what I mean. If you're going to have that kind of attitude, you're just going to go out there with 110 inside, you're going to press, collect, and you've given up. You're not really trying to beat the game. You're hoping you can last long enough for a good run, and that's all that it's about for you. That's sort of I'll take what comes to me kind of a thing, right? Whereas I think money management, even though it can be boring and it seems like you're not doing anything, it actually is more of an attack mode mentality. You're trying to still do something for you, which I think is important. That was yesterday's point. Today, I'm going to roll some dice and throw some strategies out here. I'll put one strategy out there. We're just going to play it a bunch of times. I want to talk through it. I want to talk through kind of the mindset and rack management and that sort of thing as we go through it. And then tomorrow we can have a little bit of a little bit of a, bring your comments to me tomorrow and we'll do a little bit of dig it or dog it. We'll decide if we like it or not. So that's the plan for today is that. Now, the next thing I want to get into though, before I really start talking about it is this. Dylan from Skill and Luck, who's out here in chat today, had asked me about this. And I think it came up in the chat too. What happens when it goes bad? And it certainly can go bad, right? You can be in a ladder, and I have made this comment before. You can be in a ladder and it just goes south, right? It doesn't happen often, but it happens. You're going to catch that shit run where you lose 8 or 9 in a row, and your ladder goes from 1 unit up to like whatever that is, 9, 10, 15 units, and you're out of money. It'll happen. If you ever watch Ken from Ken Knows Gambling, he did the series where he ran the retirement plan for like 96 times and he won. Well, the one time he didn't win, he lost the entire $10,000. Okay. That's not a slight on him or the strategy. It just happens. Every strategy will go down at some point, right? The difference is all the 97 leading up to that, right? If he had stopped at just $100 every single time, right? He would have had $9,700, lost 10,000, and after 100 tries, been down $300, right? His goal was a little higher than that. So he won 200, 300, 200, 300, 250, 370, right? All along the way, right? Always had that bottom line of I'm going to win at least X, but if I get a little bit extra on a move, that's great. So through all of that, money management, he lasted it out. And when the bad day came, it didn't wipe him out. Now, timing wise, and I've said this to you before too, if the bad day came on day 1, we'd be having a whole different conversation. And I want you to think about this. Okay. And I'll get to your question here in a minute, Dylan. Think about this. And this is a truth bomb. And I'm glad that Ken from Ken Knows Gambling is here. He's gonna get mad at me now. Right? That's a great strategy, the retirement plan. It worked really well. Everybody loved it. Jeremy from Color Up did a show on it. Right? It kind of took the web by storm or YouTube by storm for a little while because it was doing so well. Okay. What if that bad run he had on day 97 happened on day 3? I want you to think about that. What if this is a cool strategy? Let's roll it out. And that looks, hey, that's easy. That's easy. That's easy. Whoops. Just lost 10 grand. I was up $500 and I lost 10 grand on day 4 or day 3. We're having a whole different conversation. That thing never goes to 97-0. Jeremy never runs it. Ken never gets a chance to talk about the envelopes, right? Ken doesn't go on this escalating path of cool work with Waylon and all these things that are happening. The whole landscape changes if that bad day happened on day 3 instead of on day 97. I want you to consider that, and consider that for you, because you could, and I know people who have done this, right? I've been in Vegas at Casino Quest talking to the guys. Somebody comes in, oh my God, I tried a strategy I saw on YouTube. It was a ladder strategy, and I lost, $4,500 out of the 5,000 I brought with me. I need to get home. Help me turn this $500 into something so I can leave safe. That's happened. It happens all the time, actually, right? It's timing. If you get plunked or donked by a bad day early, your whole narrative changes, and money management doesn't matter. So somebody asked in chat yesterday, what happens when you're down? What happens if you got this great plan, great discipline, pretty good bankroll, you got a good strategy, and you go down right away, and your half your bankroll is gone before you even start? How does money management help you in that situation? What it does is it helps you manage what you've got left, and it gives you a way to keep your money in the rack or in your table sane. As you win, you make better decisions. If you have good money management skills and good discipline skills, you can, again, you need luck to make it happen, but you can rebuild your rack and your system without getting into chase mode and emotional mode. So I maybe today will be a day where I get to recover a little bit. We'll try some strategies. If it doesn't work, I got to try and recover. We'll see. But when you're down, money management helps you stay sane. If you're going to stay within the system and work your money the way that you ought to and not chase. Money management and discipline help you do that. If you're in a ladder situation, I hate to say it, but God be with you, right? If you're in a ladder, I've said this before, you got to be stop loss zero. If you're a ladder, you either trust the ladder or you don't. But do not play a ladder, and you got to plan for it. You got to. We can lay it out here on the table today. We can lay the ladder out, and I will. We'll do 8 steps of loss, and we'll see what that looks like to have 8 or even 9 steps of losing sessions or losing outcomes. What is it? If you can't withstand that without caring about it, don't play it. And that's the best advice I can give you on the ladders, right? If you're going to go 8 steps in a ladder, if you're planning for an 8 or 9 step ladder and you quit at step 6, you didn't give the ladder the chance that it needs. Number 1. Number 2, you can't play a ladder with scared money, because a ladder may take all of your money to get done. It may take step 8 to get the first win, and maybe you can bounce around a little bit. Remember, in a ladder, you're winning every time you go down and up, down and up, down and up. You're winning a unit every time. So you're going to be, again, money managing your way back to health little by little by little if it works. But if you don't have the money to burn on an 8-step ladder, don't play an 8-step ladder. That's the number 1 piece of advice I can give you. Money management will not get you out of that. Money management says when you play the 8-step ladder 100 times, 96 times out of the 100, you should be okay. The 4 times that you're not, you better not lose more than you won in the 96. You follow? Because you're going to get beat. And I think the question that Skill asked related to this was, I think he got beat right away. If I'm not, you can answer me in chat. Did you get beat right away? Because it happens. You go to the bubble crash machine or the table and you're going to do a don't pass ladder, and here comes a heater and you lose your 8 steps in 3 seconds. And you're like, what the hell just happened? That's not what the guy on YouTube said. That should never happen to me. But it 100% happens, right? It's timing. When does the donk happen to you? Right away or on session 97, and that's it, right? So there it is. Yeah, Ken, if you lose early, you're still okay. You got to have bankroll to back it up, right? And again, if you're going to do an 8-step ladder, let's actually go to the table really quick before I jump into the real thing. Let's go to the table, and I'm going to actually show you what I'm talking about here. So the math makes sense. Let me move this all over. I got to get my mechanics out of the way here. And let's run. I'm not going to run the dice, but I'm just going to show you what an 8-step ladder looks like unit-wise. Okay? So let me get the white chips out here. We're just going to count it out. We're going to count it out. So I'm going to pretend we lose 8 in a row. We're going to do a 1-unit ladder, flat bet, 1-unit ladder. I'm not going to worry about, I think Skill did odds on his, but let's take a look. Right? 1 unit and you lose. 2 units that you lose. Ladder to 3 and lose. Ladder to 4 and lose. Ladder to 5. Ladder to 6. Whoops. 5, 6. I'm almost out of white chips. Wow. Ladder to 7. And then finally the 8-unit ladder. Let's just say we're going to go 8 steps. 8 steps is pretty. You lose 8 in a row, it wasn't your day, right? How many units is that? 8-step ladder. Let's count the chips. How many units do you need to do a flat bet? And I'm talking about pass line, don't pass, baccarat, blackjack, whatever it is, right? How many units is this? 1, 2, 3. These are all 5-unit stacks. 10. Okay, there is 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36 units. Okay, 36 units. So if those are nickels, right? You're playing at bubble craps. If those are nickels, that's 36 nickels. That's 20 is 100 and 16 is whatever the hell that is. What is how many is 16 nickels? 16 is 40, 50, 80 bucks, right? 180. It's 180. Okay. So that's your session today, 180. If you're playing with nickels. And you might lose this. This is money we love, right? If you're going to play that way, you can't have 180 in the bank. You need 1,800 in the bank at minimum to play this at least 10 times. I would say you need to be able to play this 20 or 30 times. Because again, This ladder, this 36 units, will probably only win when it works. Your goal is probably going to be 3 or 4 units, maybe 5 units, right? You got to win, let's say 5 times. Let's say you win 5 times. Let's say you win 5 units a time, right? Let's put that out there. I'm not a white chips. You win 5 units like that. You win 5 units every time. There's 36 here. You need to win 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You need to win 8 times. Okay? 8 times. If 36 wins you 5, you got to win 8 times to have 40 so that the big loss doesn't eat it all up. If that happens to you, you win 8 times, you'll lose the 9th, you've won 40, you've lost 36, you're up 4 units, and you start over again. Okay? Ken happened to win 5 units 97 times before he bit the big one, right? That's the difference, right? This here, the fact that you know you need to win at least 8 times to show a guaranteed profit from your ladder, you got to win 8 times out of 9 to get your guaranteed profit out of a ladder that's 36. That's an 8-unit ladder. 8 times. This needs to be at least 10, 20, or 30 times what your spread is. So if you have 36 units here, you need to have at least, 360 units to play it. At least that. Probably 720. And again, if this is $180, you're talking about 1,800, 3,600, or whatever's next. 46, 50, $400. At least to play this 30 times to get to the point where you're winning an average of 8 times to 1 to end up ahead in the end. Money management, if you don't know this part of it, what this is going to require you to play, to have in your bank so you can play this way, don't go with a ladder unless you know that, number 1, unless you have this, number 2. You've got to plan for it. And I think, Ken, hopefully you'll back me up on this statement. If you can't afford to go to 8 steps, don't go to 8 steps. If you get scared on the way to 8 steps and you want to leave after the 5th loss, you can't play a ladder. You can't play a ladder if you're going to play it and not let it run its course. Your bankroll's there to be used. If you're not using your bankroll in the ladder, don't play a ladder. You're laddering because you have bankroll, right? If bankroll is a tool that you have, if you've got 50 grand in the bank and you're going to do a $5 ladder, you can withstand 2 or 3 donks at step 8. You can withstand that. You can get past it because you're going to win 73 in a row later on. If you've got $1,000 in the bank and doing a $5 ladder, you're going to have a really rough time. You're going to lose all your damn money. And that's what I got to say about that. So hopefully that answers your question, Dylan, about the laddering. I think that the important thing about a ladder is that you have the money to go 8 steps multiple times and that you can last it out until it works itself out. If you don't, you can't just take your bank. You can't go to the bank, pull money out, go play a ladder and hope for the best. You just can't do it. It's just money management starts at the ATM machine. It really does. I think that's an important thing. So hopefully that makes some sense. I'm going to look at the chat real quick before I start the actual, what I want to do today. Let me look at the chat and see what we're saying in here. So, I feel real welcomed, he says. Yeah, losses happen. Welcome to the nasty world of gambling, says Ken. And Skill confirms he did lose 8 out of the gate, which is brutal, man. And believe me, I've gone out there with the other one, the Skill 66, and just gotten torched. Like lost $600 in 3 seconds. Like, what the hell just happened to me? Sometimes the bad day does a thing, right? Ken says that everyone dogged a strategy like there is something that won't lose. Everything loses. Pick your poison. You're 100% right. Look at this giant. Whoa, look at that. That's weird. Like how big that comment got on the mobile side. Yeah, Ken says you need 10 minimum and be prepared to go to 0, which is also true. You got to, on a ladder, be prepared. Be prepared in a ladder to lose the whole freaking thing. And again, I'd be prepared to lose it 10 times. If you're 36 units for one, you better have 360 units backed up and be prepared to lose it 10 times in a row. Be prepared to lose 8 steps 10 times in a row and still have money in the bank. Like that's how you have a ladder. That's how a ladder can be played. Maybe I should write that down somewhere, right? If an 8-step ladder is 36 units, you better have 36 units 10 times and be prepared to lose 36 units 10 times and still have money in the bank to make your ladder work. You need a ton of money to ladder. It's not like it's a poor man's game. That's why most folks that ladder do it on bubble craps, not with black chips. Because if you're going to ladder with black chips, you better have some fucking paper behind your ass. All right, here we go. Let's do a little bit of pressure cooker. And I actually probably should show the scene. Let me show you the logo, the pressure cooker logo. I think I got it in here. Do I still have it in here? Or no, did I take it out? No, I have it in here. Hold on. It's a cool logo. I had AI make me this. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Let me go to that. Let's go to, how do I do this here? Come on. There it is. Look at that. How cool is that? The pressure cooker. All right. I'm going to go back to the table. And what I want to do is take some money and some dice and roll some stuff out. Okay. I want to just put a simple couple of strategies to the test. And I want to talk about different ways that we can approach this, because I think this notion of money management starts here in the rack. All right. Let's get our puck out. Let's get our dice out. And let's go grab a point. There's a 7, of course, right? Another 7. Let's roll the 7s out, right? 4. Okay. The point's going to be 4. Now, what I'm going to do here is a pretty simple strategy. All right. I want you to watch my rack. I've got 5 bullets in the rack. 5 bullets in the rack. We're going to go 220 inside. There's my 220. All that is 2 green units per bet. All right. That's it. 220 on the inside. It's a lot of money. One statement I'll make from a money management standpoint is this, and I've made this comment to y'all before. I don't want to be here forever. If my goal is to win $100, I can do $100 here a couple of different ways. Okay. I'm looking to make it in a couple of spins. Or a couple of rolls. I don't want to be here trying to win $10 10 times. Okay, let's talk about that goal really quick. If you're trying to win $100, here's money management for you, right? Trying to win $100, right? Trying to win that $10 at a time, okay? You got to win 10 times 10. You got to beat the casino 10 times more than they beat you to get $100. Now, let that sink in for a minute. We talk about bet sizing all the time, and even at a low bankroll, this is 220 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1,000 and whatever, $1,080 or $1,100. Okay, to win 100. I would much rather try and win $100 with my 220 by just getting a couple of good ones versus trying to beat them 10 freaking times. Beating them 10 times before that shooter 7's out. You're betting 44 inside. God be with you. Again, I'll say it again. Good freaking luck. It ain't going to happen. That's why people lose, by the way. Trying to win too little amount too many times. You're going to get screwed by that. But here we go, right? What I can do with this 220 is a lot of things, right? I'm going to roll. If I get a 7, I'm going to ignore it. I just want to show you what the plan could be, right? Of course, it's a 7, right? Let's get some numbers on the inside. I want to show you what a plan would be. And I'll take that 7 later. If we catch a 9, right, that's going to pay $70. Okay. I have some options here. And again, I'm 220 at risk. And I want to win about $100. Watch this. If I take half of that money back and I spread this out and go to 110 inside, okay, out of my 220, I've got 120, right? Or there's 110. There's half my money. Plus I've got 70. So I've got 150, 175, 180 out of my 220 back, right? 150, 160, 170, 180 out of my 220 is back, which means I'm out here for $40 at risk, right? Right to the rack we go. We catch another number. We get the 8 for $35. Now guess what? When I come down, I want you to watch. There's 110. There's 110. That's my 220. My profit, 75, 100, and $5. I'm out for $100. 220 to win 100, right? What am I doing? I'm laying against the 7. That's basically laying the 4 or 10. I put out 220. I win $110 or $105, right? I'm essentially betting 2 to win 1. I got to survive 2 rolls for it. It's the same thing as laying the 4 or 10. Whose mind's blown by that? Whose mind's blown by that concept right there? 220 to win 110 or 105 is laying the 4 or 10. All these bets, by the way, end up being the same when you think about it. Now, anyway, I would rather do that and put 220 at risk to do it. When I'm playing paycheck style, trying to win my money and go the hell home, that's the kind of thing I would do. I would go out there with 220, and that's it. Buy in for 250, put money on the pass line so I can shoot the dice, get me 2 rolls, make my $100, walk the hell out of there. That's money management, by the way. Get my 2 hits and bug out. Now, let's put this to the test. And before I started this, I rolled a 4. My first roll was a 7, right? Bye-bye. We're going to put the 220 in the loss column. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to put 220. If you can see it back behind the numbers. That's my first loss. I'm chasing 220, and I know that because, again, from a money management perspective, I can see when I use my separators, my lammers, to separate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets, an extra lammer means I'm down a bullet. I know how much money I'm chasing. I never don't know what I'm chasing. Let's put 220 out there again. We'll give it another shot. Here we go. We did lose the first one, so I want to make sure I'm fair about that. 220 inside, up and off. And here we go. Puck is off. Let's roll it out. We got an 8 for the point. We got an 8. Hit the point right away. Let's play it out. That's going to pay $70. We're going to take half our money back. We're going to spread out. Puck is going to be off. These bets are off. I'll put this in the rack in a very special way. Right here. We're going to try and get our money back. There's one. I'm going to put the $20 right there. There's 150 and a 20. I'm waiting for $50 more to come over here so I can make my rack right. Here we go. New point's going to be nothing yet. Another 8. 8s and 7s, right? Here we go. Can we get it? We catch a 5. It's $35. And the bets come down. And what I do is this. 100, 220 in the rack. And here's my profit. There's 75. There's 100 and $5. Now, I know that I'm down, right? So over here, I'm chasing. This is my chase pile. When this gets to be 220, I can move it over here. Okay. Next shooter. Money management starts here. It starts here. Okay. Here we go. That's a 9. Onto the 9 we go. We have our same bullet that we're working through. Now, again, we're not up yet. We're still chasing some of that first loss that we had. Okay. Let's go. Let's avoid it. There's a 4. Doesn't matter for us, right? There's a 6. That'll be, I'll do 75 for 5. And we'll pull half the bets down. Again, playing it safe. Pull half the bets down. First thing I'm going to do before that next roll is set the rack. 100, 200, and 25, we'll call it. It's a little bit extra, a little bit of excess in here. That's fine, 225. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets and part of another one. I need my $35 here to get close to right. A 4 again, that's 2 4s. A yo, who's scared? A 10, come on, baby. An 8, finally, $35. Now watch. We come down. Let's set the rack back up. There was 200, right? Here comes 20. That's a bullet. If I take this out of my rack, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. $210. Almost a bullet. So money management, again, rack management, where am I? I'm not chasing this roll. It's 2 hits. The strategy is 2 hits, $100. If I would have won the $100 on the first shooter, I had been at the cage. As it was, I had to chase the $100. So I had to win it twice to effectively get even. Here we go. If I win this third one, we're going to have a really fun conversation. Here we go. Let the shooter 7 out. I'm going to let this guy just run its course. And we had this talk last week. Does this matter? Does it matter that I let the shooter run out and go to the next shooter? No. The dice don't give two shits if it's this shooter or the next shooter. I can go 220 right now and just do the move again. Or I could wait for puck rhythm. It's your choice. It's your choice. It doesn't really matter. We're going to wait for puck rhythm right now. Let the thing run itself. That's a good little, look at that. 4s and 10s are killing it right here, right? 6, 5, yo, 8. My God, come on. 9, there's the point. Okay. When we come out, I'll restart the bets. There's a 3 on the come out. There's an 11 on the come out. My goodness gracious, 6. Here we go. 220 inside one more time. There's our first loss. Let's make the move happen one more time. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Nice, easy strategy, isn't it? Nice, easy strategy. There's a 7 out. Look at that. See? How cool is that we got the 7 out? Now, another 220 out of the gate. Now we're down 3 bullets. 1, 2, 3 bullets, but I have another one over here. So we're technically still down the first loss. We recovered back. Let's do it again. I don't quite have 220 here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take the next true bullet out and run that out. There's 220, so I'll put that over here. Run the bets back out. Let's see what happens. Off. Out on an 8. Let's make the move. There's a 9. That'll do 75 for 5. Take half. Spread out. Again, just 2 hits. After this first hit, right, I'm doing pretty good. Once I get 1 hit, I'm only in $40. If I lose here, we can reset and we'll kind of see where we are. There's an 8. That's the point, $35. Now the puck's going to be off. Okay. We'll pull this back. We'll reset the rack. And again, there's 100, 220. Let's see how close we are to our bullets here, right? There's 100, 200. I'm going to get some change. And 20, that's 2 bullets. And our fifth bullet is 75.95. So we're still about $100 down. Okay. When the puck comes back on, we're going to go back out. We'll do it one more time. There's a 7. There's an 8. Here we go. 220 out there. It's going to run with the puck, not with the shooter. Your call how you play it out. Let's avoid disaster here. There's a 10. There's a 9. That's fantastic, right? 75, 4, 5. Actually, we'll do 75 for 5. That's fine. Take half the bets. Spread them out to 110. Again, I'm going to rebuild the rack right now. There's 100, 200, and 20. 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets plus $60 in the rack. So 4 bullets, almost back to square. Plus I got some money out here. Let's get this next win and we'll do a complete reset and see how close we got. A 6, fantastic, $35. Look at that, boom, $35, and it all comes back. There's 100. There's 200. Oh, that's not quite 200. 200, that's 200. 205 coming back. So my rack, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 bullets. I'm $15 light of where I started. And again, I'm not chasing the wins. I'm not laddering my losses. I'm managing my rack to see where I am. We still now need, because we lost the very first shooter. The very first shooter was a shit show. We lost 220 out of the freaking gate, and we are chasing our tails here. But watch, if we can catch a win on this next one here. That was a 6. On our next one, we'll have a different conversation, right? Playing it through, but playing it through with the smart mind, right? There's a 5, there's the 8. Puck is going to be off. We're going to come out 220 inside, up and off, let the shooter get a point, and then go back at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here we go. Let's get a point of 10. Let's get a non-7. There's an 8. 75 for 5. Bring half the bets down. Go to 110. And again, let's reset the rack. There's 100, 200. I'm going to get nickels for that. There's your 220. There's 150 and some extra. Here we go. Money shot. It's the money shot. It's an 8, $35. Now, here we go. Let's see where we landed. This is going to be a great, I know exactly where we are. Let's have a great conversation here. Okay, here goes 150, 220 bucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets. We got all our money back. We won back our loss. We're even in the rack. And we have some profit. How much profit do we have? My goal was 100. 75, 85, $90 in profit. 90 bucks in profit. I want to know in chat, what are you going to do? Nick says I should have stayed up. I was never up. We never got positive. We were always a little bit down. Finally, we were positive. Okay, and again, the move is what the move is. If I had won on the first shooter, I would have won 105 bucks and we'd have been at the cage. It took me 4 or 5 shooters to win it back and get where I am, right? California Crap Stuff, get the hell out of here, right? 90 bucks is close to 100. Bye-bye. I made this question yesterday to you. How many times have you set a goal of 100 and gotten to 90 and been like, well, that's not really 100 bucks. I need to get to my freaking goal, right? Money management says, get out. You were down 200. I have 100 or almost 100. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means I won 300 bucks. I lost 220. I'm up now 90. If you look at this in totality, 100, 200, $310. I have won since I lost that first bet, $310. I'm only up 90 net, but I've won 310 in the process. I won it back and I won some extra. That's good session. It's a really good session if you think about that. Go home, okay? But I'm going to not, right? I'm going to do this on purpose. There's your 2. I'm going to put that back in the bank, okay? Let's say you're the guy that wants to chase the win. Hopefully I get it. Wouldn't it be great if I got a 7 here? Let's turn the puck off. Let's go back out again. You know what? Let's get one more because I really want to take that win that I've got and make use of it. Now, there's 2 ways to make use of the win, okay? I got 90 bucks here. I could play only the 90 bucks and try and turn the $90 into something, right? Keep my bankroll safe, play with the 90 bucks. And if the 90 bucks turns into something cool, fan-frickin-tastic. If it doesn't turn into something cool, I have my money back, okay? Let's actually do that. Let's go $75. Watch this. We're going to go 75. I'm going to go 66 in, okay? We'll get $9 in change. There's our $9 change. Okay, let's go 66 inside. I think I have enough nickels to do it. I do. 66 in, $9 change. Now what I've done here is I've turned my $90 profit into a $24 profit. Turned 90 bucks into 24 because this is not mine anymore. I gave it to them. Right, 90 bucks into 24. I'm going to play with X. I'm going to play with my profits and try and bump this up. Now, again, most of us would agree. Go to the cage with a 90. Let's say you're not that guy. Let's say you're not that guy. I'm going to run these rolls, and I'm going to write them down actually. Let's see. Otherwise I'll forget what they were. We're going to run this out. I'm going to show you what happened to both players. There's a 5. Here's the point of 5. Let's see if we can pull a little skill 66 off here. Can I do it? There's a 6. That pays, I got to get my other chips out here, 21. It pays $21. Drop a buck. Skill 66, this bad boy. Let's go to 88. Let's catch an inside hit before the 7, and we get to 7, and guess what happens? We lost it. Our profit is now $24. Now, what if I didn't just, and again, I think a smart money management move, if you're going to play again, play with the profits. I still have a profit of 24 bucks, but now I'm really not at my goal anymore. Now I'm really not at goal. The only way to get back is to play another full bullet. If I had the 90, let's go back where we were. If I had kept the 90 over here, this is going to be a fun little what if. Right? Bear with me as I do this. This is why it's called the pressure cooker, because I put myself under immense pressure to get this shit right. All right, let's go back over here. Let's say that I had the 90 and I said, you know what? That's not enough. I'm going to try that move again. I'm going to try this again. What would have happened? What would have happened? Let's play a little what if game. Let's go here. We had a hit, right? We had I don't know which one of these hit. One of these numbers hit, right? And that would have paid $70, right? We would have taken half our bets down. And then the 7 would have came and taken this money from us. This would have gone away, right? That's what would have happened had I used a bullet, okay? I got to take what I brought back down and my 90 and see where I am. Do I have enough money to put a bullet back? I don't know. There's 220. I do. We still kept our bullet safe, but now my profit from 90 went down to 50. And now I'm half profit, right? By continuing to play past goal, and I made this comment yesterday, the goal is the floor, the ceiling, not the floor, right? I've gone from 90 in one case down to $24. If I kept playing the full bullet, again, strategy choice, I've lost half of it. Now I'm down to $50 over here in profit. So I burned half my profit by trying the move again. Now I'm at a spot where this is not goal, right? I'm making poor decisions. This is not my goal anymore. I can't leave at 50. If my goal was 100, I'm not really not close anymore. Now I got to get back to my goal. What do? Well, we're going to go ahead and roll the dice, get an 8. We're going to try it again. Chasing our freaking tail here, right? There's a 10. There's an 8. That's good, actually. We'll do 75 for 5 out of the rack. Cut her in half. Now, again, before I make this, I'm going to make the spread move. I'm going to check my rack first. All right. There's 100. There's 20. So my bullet is back, right? Because my profit, I can use it. My bullet's back. I've got $10 in locked profit. I've got 110 out here. Okay. That one regression gets me to goal. There's my 100. Here's my $20. Go to the 5, 9, 4, and 10, or just take the 4 and 10 and have fun with it. Put it on the hard ways. Go buy yourself a whiskey. Either way, you're at goal. And I'm not completing the move. The next roll here would have been the extra $35 to complete the move. It would have been a 7. We would have lost our ass, right? But again, rack management, money management, knowing where you are before every move gets made, critical. It's critical. You have to really know what you have in here. If you don't know what you got in here and what you're going to be putting in that envelope later on or going back to the ATM machine with, if you don't know where you are, you're in trouble. And sometimes in this little right side play, it worked out. In a ladder, very often in a ladder, you could be laddered up and be at level 6 out here. And if you pull your ladder down into your rack, you'd actually be ahead. And a lot of folks forget about checking that part of it. If I pull my ladder down, would I have been ahead? Do I need to always work the ladder to the floor? You don't always have to. Sometimes you're winning enough in the up and down of a ladder to recover yourself. All right. Now, again, I chose that strategy today because A, it's fun. Little Dallas drawdown for you. B, it's quick. I can get quick resolution. If I'm doing pass line only, we'd have been here all damn day trying to get something to happen. So that's why I showed you that way of playing. Again, not advocating for one over the other. I wanted to get some quick outcomes for us to show some rack management. And that's, to me, when I play the game, when you play with me at a table, this is what I do all day long. When I'm at the table, I do not have this. Like some people have got this going on in their rack. That's not me. That person has no fucking idea where they are. They have no skills with money management. They just look at that rack. That could be a good session or a bad session when you walk by. Who knows what that guy's doing? I never not know what I'm doing. Because this skill right here gives me the tool and the information I need to make a good money management decision. And that's my speech for today. All right, guys, let me get you back out of here. I'm going to go over to the other screen really quick. No, not that window. I'm going to go back over to here. Let's do me to the left, and we'll hit the next. Oh, the pressure cooker. Let's do this. All right. I'm gonna hit the Q&A real quick and see if there's any questions that I haven't gotten to in the chat, and we'll go through it. So let's go through over here. Not a lot of comments today. Not a lot of viewers today. The viewership is down today for some reason. Let's see. Ken says you're flat. Copy with you. Let's see. Losses happen. Welcome to the world of gambling. And of course, right, I love that my demo today was a PSO, first out of the gate. Having to fight back, very important. Everyone, yeah, this is great. Everyone dogs a strategy. Like there's something that won't lose. Everything loses. They lose at different rates and different reasons, right? Some strategies will lose faster than others, right? A big old inside bet strategy will lose a fortune versus a smaller flat bet, but you still lose. Over time, those bets go. All right, Nick, I don't like ladders. I'm averse to raising bets when losing, right? Only raise when winning. Again, mindset. When I told you way back, and I'm going to go to the bridge really quick, the bridge screen, because I think it's an important point that Nick brings up, and I want to really, really hit this. There's the bridge screen. It goes to bankroll and risk tolerance, right? Some people love a ladder. Ladders feel pretty safe, right? It's funny because a ladder is a safe play in terms of like the way that it works. However, it's a high risk strategy because you need a lot of bankroll. If your bankroll and the way that you want to experience risk at a table doesn't match, don't play that way. You cannot play a ladder if A, you don't like them, and B, that's too much money for you to feel like you got at risk, even though it's a safe kind of system inherently. If you don't marry up the risk and the bankroll, can't play it, right? If you have a ton of bankroll and you're risk averse, you shouldn't be out there going 320 across and hoping for the skyscraper roll. You can't do that. You got to marry these things up. If you don't marry those things up, that's where I think a lot of problems happen, is by not really keeping things together like they ought to be. Hope that makes sense. Let's see. I do, and JR, I love an up as you win tactic. I prefer that. I like an up as you win. I like to start low and go up as you win. But that again, it's just my predilection, right? Whether it's dark side or right side, a 1-3-2-4 up as I win, my favorite way to play, right? Yes, and there is no loss limit with the ladder. Again, skill, you're right about that. If you're playing a ladder, you've got to let your bankroll do its job. That's the whole point of it. And I've heard Ken and Waylon, who play ladders all the time, both talk about that. If you're going to do it, you got to do it. You got to commit to it and know that it's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? You're going to get that whack. It's about when the whack comes. And that's, I think, all of it. Let's see. I spend all day getting out of the hand, said one underfunded action junkie to another. That's pretty funny. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Oh, the hand was hitting the center. Oh, and turned off. Oh, yeah. That's right. I should have. Of course. Right. Then doesn't that happen all the time, Nick? You're doing the thing. Let's turn the bets off and wait it out. And here comes 11 rolls. And you go back. Oh, let's go back on now. And that's when the 7 comes. It just totally happens, right? It's so funny. All right. I think I'm out here. It's 8:20 time. I'm 5 minutes late for my 8:15 meeting, of course, but you guys are more important to me than that. Don't tell anybody. Have a great day, everybody. Love y'all. God bless you. Work the money. Please work the money. Eyes wide open. Have a great day. Love y'all. Bye.